Once upon a time, in a quiet green forest, there lived a little fox named Finley. Finley was not like other foxes in the forest. He was small, with soft red fur and bright, curious eyes. He loved to watch the birds sing and the rabbits hop, but he was always afraid to join them. Finley's biggest fear was the deep, dark part of the forest. The other animals said there was a wide cave there, and strange sounds came from it at night. Finley would always run back to his burrow before the sun went down. He felt safe only when he was close to his mother's warm fur. One morning, Finley woke up early. He peeked outside his burrow and saw golden sunlight dancing on the leaves. He heard the squirrels laughing and the birds calling each other. Finley wanted to play with them, but he felt shy. He stayed behind a tree and watched them from far away. Then he heard a gentle voice beside him. It was Wise Owl sitting on a low branch. Wise Owl looked at Finley and said, "Why do you hide, little fox?" Finley lowered his head and whispered, "I'm too scared to play. What if I get lost? What if I go too far? What if something bad happens?" Wise Owl smiled kindly. "Bravery is not about not being afraid," she said. "Bravery is when you feel fear but still take a step forward. Sometimes you find courage only when you need it the most." Finley didn't understand at first. He just nodded and went back to his burrow. All day he thought about what Wise Owl had said. He wondered if he would ever feel brave like the other animals. The next night, something happened. Finley was curled up in his burrow when he heard soft crying outside. He poked his head out and saw his friend, a little rabbit named Willow. Willow was trembling and looking around. "Finley! Finley!" Willow cried. "My baby brother ran into the deep forest. I can't find him. Please help me." Finley's heart began to race. The deep forest? The dark part he feared so much? He wanted to run and hide. But then he looked at Willow's sad eyes and he remembered Wise Owl's words. He took a deep breath. His paws were shaking, but he stepped out of his burrow. "Come on, Willow," he said softly. "Let's find him together." Into the dark forest they went. The trees were taller there, and the moonlight barely touched the ground. Strange sounds echoed all around them, rustling leaves, snapping twigs, and far-off hoots. Finley felt fear in his belly like a cold stone. But each time he wanted to stop, he thought of Willow's baby brother, lost and alone. He kept walking. Step by step, he moved deeper into the darkness. Soon, they heard a tiny whimper. Behind a bush, they found a small rabbit shivering. Finley pushed through the leaves and gently nuzzled the baby rabbit. "It's okay," Finley whispered. "I'm here. Let's go home." He led the baby rabbit back to Willow, who hugged her brother tight. Tears of relief filled her eyes. She looked at Finley and said, "Thank you, Finley. You are so brave." Finley blinked. For the first time, he didn't feel small or scared. He felt warm inside, proud and strong. He realized that courage had been there all along, sleeping inside his heart, waiting for him to need it. When they came out of the deep forest, the stars were shining bright above them. Finley looked up and felt the cool night air on his fur. He smiled, knowing he could be brave again if he needed to. From that day on, Finley didn't hide behind trees anymore. He played with the birds, chased the squirrels, and sometimes even explored the edges of the deep forest, just to remind himself that he could. And every night, before curling up to sleep, he would remember Wise Owl's words. Bravery is not about not being afraid. It's about taking a step forward, even when you are. And so, under the moonlight and the watchful eyes of the forest, Finley the Fox found his courage. and shared it with every small friend who needed it. And they all slept peacefully, knowing that even the smallest fox could be the bravest of all. Moral of the story: true courage is inside you, even if you feel small or scared.